Hi, this is Ed Baxter, CEO of Money. We're back again at the Bitcoin Ethereum Superconference. We're talking to Doug from Travelblock, and we want to talk about something the most incredibly disruptive thing we've seen probably today. Doug, welcome.
Thank you
CEO
very
Money.
much. Thank you very much.
When you think about Travelblock, you guys have figured out a way to really access something that normal people can't get access to.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about that. Well, first of all, how did you come up with the idea?
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
how did you decide to do this and take this road?
Cool. Well, in order to explain where we are today, we have to roll the clock back about 30 years.
That's great.
Okay. I've been in the travel industry 30 years, and when I was first starting off in my
30 years?
30 years.
What are you, 11?
I appreciate that.
Wow.
I appreciate that. I'm going on 50 here pretty quick, so
Wow.
thank you very much.
Wow.
The industry's been good to me.
Yeah, it has.
Thank you. But basically, I'm going to go before the internet even existed and how hotels marketed their weeks. Hotels, I was a hotelier, I was director of sales, and the way we got consumers to stay in our properties, we either closed consumer groups, which would be like this convention we're at right now. Public rate is $221 through Expedia, but they negotiated a special rate for the convention because it's a closed group of $125 a night. So hotels have always had closed consumer group pricing for people coming direct to the hotel. How did we market to the public back then before the internet existed? Travel agents, brick and mortar travel agents.
I remember Carson traveling, Wagon places like that.
Exactly. And people would go to the travel agent, and that would be their local travel provider. So for the hotel, our sales force would go to the travel agents, we'd educate them on the hotel, we'd give them a published rate, and then that's the rate that they would give to the public to come and stay at our resorts.
Okay.
Now the key on this, and this is the key to bring us to where we are today, the contracts that we signed with the travel agents back then were price integrity. We couldn't give one travel agent one rate and another travel agent a different rate. It had to be the same across the board. But the other key was the resort had to sign that we could never market to the public a lesser rate than what the travel agents had because we'd be competing with the hand that feeds us.
So the
Does that make
travel
sense?
agents held you captive.
They did, and now here's the big one that brings us to today. In 1996, I'm the director of sales at the Harrison Hot Springs Resort, and I pick up the phone and I'm like, hi, this is Expedia calling. We're a new online travel agent, and we'd like to sign a contract with you, much like you have with the existing brick and mortar travel agents. And I thought, this internet, I didn't really get it, but I figured it's not going to hurt. It's the same contracts, and all the major hotel brands were signing this same thing with this online company. Travel agents thought it was hilarious. They never thought people would book online on a computer, right? 5 years later, travel agents were gone. Online travel took over, and now that brings us to where we are today. 22 years later, online travel is a $600 billion industry.
It is, yours truly included.
Yep, exactly.
Travelocity, Expedia, Kayak, take your pick.
Exactly. Now, if you take a look at them, all of their rates fluctuate within $5 or $10 a night. You know, very. Now, the reason for that is those same agreements that were in place 22 years ago. Hotels can only give them their published rate, and they cannot market to the public anything less. So this convention couldn't have gone to the public and said, hey, stay here for $125 a night. It's only for the people who belong to the convention. And the industry's been trying to figure out how to get around that because Expedia have become a complete monopoly. The public is getting hurt because they're always paying the top tier rate plus markup to stay in properties. Yet everybody knows that hotels and airlines and car rentals and cruises are cheaper. But how can the public get those rates? And
so you telling me you can get those rates to people, normal everyday people?
yes, and here's how that works. You see, when the blockchain came out, I spent 15 years in Canada working in hotels. The next 15 years I worked in shared ownership in Latin America. We built a company from 23 million a year to 500 million a year. And part of our big thing was marketing. How can we market to bring people down? We want to go to certain markets and put a cheaper rate, but we can't because of our OTA agreements, and it's been a problem, both for the hotels, for the shared ownership industry, and for the consumer. So it's a big problem. And when Bitcoin came out, I looked at it and I was confused. I didn't get it, much like when the internet came out. I was confused, didn't get it, much like a lot of people. But then, as I looked more into it, and I saw Ethereum, and under Ethereum, you have your utility token. Well,
smart contract.
Exactly. Well, the purchase of a utility token is into a closed consumer group. It's into a private ecosystem. Light bulb goes off. This is what the industry was looking for, because the purchase of one token means you're now a member of a closed community.
Exactly.
We can now go to the hotels and all the providers and say, market to us, this is a traveling group, and we can now negotiate these net rates and wholesale rates and bring the feeds and put it to the general public. And the industry loved it. Travelblock is here now, so obviously our meetings went extremely successful. We have all the travel feeds that you can find on Expedia, Kayak, Travelocity. It's basically a decentralized kayak, if you want to look at it like that. And we have every major cruise line, every major hotel brand, all those things. If you can book it through Expedia, you can book it through us.
Oh, hold on. You're telling me that through this closed loop,
Yes.
we can book the same travel we would book otherwise,
Absolutely.
without the insanity of someplace with those people who are gorilla in the market.
Yes.
You can do that.
Yes, we can do that, and we have a lineup at our booth right now of people looking at our actual working platform, comparing the prices. In fact, I had an interview earlier today with a fellow from China, and he said, pull up Hong Kong. We pulled up the Ritz-Carlton Hong Kong, a 4-night stay. We're $560 cheaper, $562 cheaper than Expedia. And the site is going to be showing as you go in. It's going to show you what the online prices are and what the different prices with us, because we can now go direct. Now, the step we can take further is as more and more members buy tokens and more people become token holders and part of the Travelblock community, we now find out where they're traveling. If they're going to Vegas, or they're going to New York, or they're going to Paris, or they're going to London, we can now go to the hotels there and negotiate rates like here and say, we have X number of people coming every month, give us a wholesale net rate. We're not publicly putting it out, it's going to our closed consumer group, but it's the public that are accessing the closed consumer group. This is a whole new paradigm shift. It's the same change I saw when the internet came out in 1996 and Expedia wiped out the travel agents. What Expedia did is the rates remained the same, but the public got more ease of booking. It was an easier, so it was convenient-wise it was there, but they never got the rate fixed. The rate is now getting fixed, and the blockchain is bringing that to consumer. And Travelblock, we're the first ones in the space. Travel is a $2.3 trillion market.
It is.
The online travel does $600 billion a year, and blockchain does nothing right now until July 28th when our token goes live.
So your token goes live on the 28th, and at that point, you become the disruptor
Yes.
of the previous thing we thought is travel.
Exactly.
I guess thinking about that,
I'm so excited.
what is this? What does one have to do to get involved with this? How do they get a part of this?
Our pre-ICO is March the 3rd. Now, we've already, as the owners of the company, the founders, we've already invested the money to create the working platform, because there's too many cryptos that come out without it working. It's just an idea. This is an idea. This is a working platform that's already there. The pre-ICO is coming out March the 3rd. We're going to use that to build our call center, because call centers are very expensive to put together, but you have to have live people to come in to make it easy, because right now cryptos are very difficult for the general public to purchase and use and figure out. So we're working with a company called processing.com that you're going to be able to click book, put in your credit card number, and processing.com is going to convert your credit card purchase to the tokens, which makes you the member, which then purchases the vacation.
So you fully automated the process?
Yes. No, well, it's being worked. Yeah, it's being worked on. Like, that's what our pre-ICO is about, for raising the capital and doing that. But we already have the agreements all in place and the partners in place to create this, so that by July 28th, the platform will be up and running.
Okay, yeah. $64,000 question. Yes. When you think about Expedia, Travelocity, Kayak, and the rest of them, what do they think of what you're doing? Obviously, they can't be happy about it. Well, the other side is, if I'm a hotel group, what is the biggest advantage I have? Am I paying less commission for them and going with you? What's the biggest advantage I have in going with them?
Okay, the biggest advantage, okay, first of all, number one, Expedia, Kayak, and all that, there's not really much I can say about it, because shared ownership have been selling memberships up front to consumers to access these closed consumer groups for 20 years. It hasn't been this available. The consumers they pay $20 billion a year globally. People do, just for the ability to access a platform like this, because they're buying into a closed consumer group. The token means you buy one token, you're a member of a closed consumer group. So there's nothing they can do about it, because their agreements are in place and they've been gouging clients they've been hugely profitable, but things are going to change. Hotels, an empty room in a hotel is lost revenue. An empty car rental is lost revenue. An empty plane seat is lost revenue. Hotels want to fill, and that's their entire goal. Hotels, they make 125. It doesn't make a difference to the hotel, because if you book it through Expedia, you're paying all the marketing. Expedia spent $4.6 billion a year in marketing. They have a 25% markup, and they're getting these rack rates from the hotels. So a hotel is going to virtually get the same money. We're just taking out all the middlemen and putting it direct. And then if a hotel needs to fill their space, they can come to us and they can say, hey, we've got 50 rooms available this night, and we can put that out to our member base at a low rate, and it's not publicly going against any OTA agreement. So it's a win-win for everybody. And that's the cool part. Like if it's a win for hotels, it's a win for the consumer.
Now, being who I am for the most part. I kind of understand what you're doing. How do you drive the adoption of this? How do you create the tsunami you need to really get past here?
Great question. So what we're doing is with all of our pre-ICO purchasers, for every 5 Ethereum that are put into the company for participation, we have already negotiated with resorts 2,000 7-night complimentary stays.
Wow.
Why? Because the resorts want this to succeed and they want the marketing. Now, social media is an amazing platform these days. You don't have to go spend millions of dollars on commercials. You go through the social media platform. Now imagine all the people who participate with 5 Ethereum. Why do we want them to just turn around and sell that Ethereum, those tokens, once it's converted to token, into the market and take a vacation? Or would it be better for them to hold those Ethereum and, well, the token once it's there, and we give a 7-night stay for them to go and stay in the Caribbean or Mexico or Orlando or Vegas?
That takes the pressure off them selling your token once they get it.
Exactly, and it gives them a vacation, because now what they're going to do is they're going to go on that vacation through Travelblock. They're going to go on social media. They're going to take pictures of this beautiful place they're staying, these beautiful experiences, and then they're going to post it, and that's going to go viral. It's going to go viral.
Think about that aspect of Travelblock. Is there also a built-in incentive for those people who are participants to maybe earn more tokens or more vacations or anything?
Yeah, great
Should
question.
they
Yes.
recommend your product?
We don't have it absolute perfected yet, but what we are going to be doing is for our large participants.
When you come out of the hotel area, you know what the rewards program is like.
No, exactly. Well, imagine if you have $50,000 invested in some business and you get dividends, right? Okay, well, our dividends, our rewards, are vacations. So if you hold that 50 for a year, you're probably going to take a $5,000 vacation. That's normally what people will spend on a vacation. So imagine if we're giving you a reward of a $5,000 vacation for keeping those tokens invested or participating with Travelblock. You don't take them out, you leave them in, and you're getting a vacation as a dividend reward. It's going to create scarcity for the tokens in the market.
Yes.
And then social media is going crazy, and we've got all the public buying them to travel because they're not the investors. Now you have a secondary market, and demand goes up, and it's a win-win again for the early participants, the traveling public, and away we go.
There are a lot of people that's not going to like you very much, but you know I love you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. The public's going to love us, and that's the key.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's Ed Baxter here with Travelblock. Thank you. Go see him. We'll be right back with more later.